Well, hello everyone. Honored to have you here. We're at the end of the Inferno. This is the last video in our journey with Dante and Virgil down into the pit. And this is where I remind you again that this is not a tragedy, but a comedy. And there is a pleasant ending or resolution to this story. But bear with, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So enjoy these cantos. Consider reading on. Check out the Purgatorio and the Paradiso. There are some wonderful translations available by a couple who live not far from here in Princeton, the Hollanders, who one is a professor of literature, the other is a professor of gender studies, and they do a great job in showcasing Dante's presentation of the redemption journey of the soul, this great epic poem. Great opportunity to deepen your walk in this amazing piece of literature. It has been a great blessing to have you alongside us as we've journeyed through these cantos and as we make our way up to the foot of the Mount of Purgatory. We hope that you had a great experience. Been a joy having you along. Please enjoy this video, and I'll see you at the end to bid you peace and grace as we prepare for the transit of Holy Week. All right, take care and God bless. We'll see you soon. Today we will complete our pilgrimage through the Inferno with cantos 29 through 34. Dante and Virgil make their descent from the final ditch of the Malbolga, the eighth circle where fraud is punished, into the depths of the ninth circle, Cocytus, reserved for the treacherous. Malbolga comprises 10 trenches, and in cantos 29 through 30, we encounter the 10th and final bolgia where various types of falsifiers endure their just punishments. And then canto 31 serves as a pivotal point. Dante initially believes he sees towers, but they're actually giants standing guard over a deep well. One of these giants will subsequently lower the travelers into the final circle. In Circle 9, the nature of punishment shifts dramatically to ice. Dante recognizes and categorizes traitors into four distinct groups: those who betray their kin, their homeland or party, their guests, and their benefactors. As we traverse these realms, it is crucial to recognize the moral shift at play. While fraud distorts reality, treachery effectively freezes human trust. Canto 29. Dante remains near the sores of discord while Virgil firmly insists that they must press on. His time is of the essence. Dante hesitates, thinking he recognizes a relative. Virgil confirms that it is indeed Dante's relative, Geri de Bello, who passes by filled with anger because his death on earth went unavenged. This moment sharply illustrates how unresolved family violence reverberates even in hell. They then reach the 10th bolgia, the final trench of the Malbolga, where falsifiers face their punishment. Dante vividly depicts a scene overwhelmed by sickness. The wailing is intolerable, the stench resembles that of infected wounds, and the sinners' bodies are infested with scabs and subjected to relentless itching. In this section, the punishment is a direct reflection of the sin. Those who twisted the truth now inhabit grotesque, decayed bodies. The crucial point is that fraud is not merely a trick. It fundamentally alters the self and perpetuates the breakdown of social bonds. Canto 30 is set in the same trench and showcases the various forms deception can take. Dante observes the souls who are impersonators, driven to madness and attacking one another like wild animals. He encounters Gianni Schicchi, who suffers a punishment of chaotic existence. Mira, a figure from classical mythology who disguised herself to commit a forbidden act. Next, he meets Master Adam, a counterfeiter whose grotesquely swollen body reflects his intense thirst. He longs for water, yet he can never reach it. Dante also confronts the falsifiers of words, Sinon, associated with the Trojan horse story, and Potiphar's wife, infamous for her false accusations against Joseph, son of Jacob in the Bible. The canto concludes with a petty and ugly quarrel among the sinners, drawing Dante into their conflict until Virgil reprimands him for lowering himself by engaging in their discord. The lessons are clear and twofold. Fraud destroys both identity and speech, and Dante is being guided to move beyond mere fascination and cultivate a strong sense of moral discipline for the conclusion of their journey just in front of them. So Canto 31, it signifies the transition out of the Malbolge. Dante hears a tremendous horn, sees what appears to be distant towers in the darkness. Virgil warns him that his eyes are deceiving him. Those towers are actually giants standing at the edge of a deep well with their lower halves sunk out of sight. One giant, Nimrod, speaks out in a nonsensical language. He represents a punishment related to the Tower of Babel, where his speech conveys nothing meaningful, only nonsense. They also encounter Ephialtes, who is chained to prevent him from committing further acts of violence, an image of raw power restrained after a rebellion. And finally, they reach Antaeus, who is not changed. He is the one who physically lowers Dante and Virgil down into the ninth circle. The essence of this canto lies in its atmosphere and symbolism. As they descend deeper into hell, the environment becomes less chaotic, more monumental, signifying strength without wisdom and a voice without meaning. In Canto 32, the travelers arrive at Cocytus, a frozen lake that is at the bottom of hell. Dante is acutely aware that his words may fall short in capturing the grim reality unfolding before him, so he seeks help to articulate his observations effectively. This circle of hell is dedicated to the punishment of traitors, and its pervasive cold powerfully illustrates the spiritual freezing that accompanies betrayal. In the first region, known as Caina, traitors who have betrayed their own kin are ensnared in ice up to their heads. Their teeth chatter, their heads are bowed, and some are so tightly packed that their hair becomes entangled, preventing any meaningful interaction, to struggle. As they progress toward Antenora, the region where traitors to their homeland or political faction are punished, Dante's demeanor hardens significantly. He strikes a sinner without hesitation, aggressively demands names, and resorts to physical force by grabbing hair and issuing threats. The canto culminates in a chilling scene. One soul gnaws on the skull of another, setting the stage for the introduction of Count Ugolino. The essential takeaway is clear. As the sins become more egregious, the environment around them grows increasingly violent and rigid. At the same time, Dante himself transforms into a more unsentimental, unsympathetic, and severe figure. So Canto 33 opens with a powerful scene. Count Ugolino gnaws on the head of Archbishop Ruggieri. Ugolino recounts how Ruggieri betrayed him, resulting in his imprisonment with his children in a tower where they were left to starve. This horror transcends mere political betrayal. It dives deep into the torment of a father's family suffering. Ugolino describes the heartbreaking deaths of his children, one after another, culminating in an ambiguous statement about the ultimate impact of their hunger. Dante responds with fierce outrage directed at Pisa as a city, asserting that no matter Ugolino's guilt, his children were utterly undeserving of such a fate. The canto then transitions to Ptolemaea, where traitors who have betrayed their guests lie with their faces turned upward, frozen tears etched in their eyes. Friar Alberigo, a sinner, desperately pleads with Dante to clear the ice from his eyes so that he can weep without impediment. He presents a chilling concept. Some traitors' souls plunge into hell while their bodies continue to appear alive on earth. Dante curtly denies Alberigo's request. This refusal sharpens the moral imperative. Betrayal has irrevocably shattered the conventional rules of courtesy. In Canto 34 of Dante's Inferno, Dante and Virgil enter the Giudecca, the final region of Circle 9, reserved for those who have betrayed their benefactors. Traitors are encased in ice, symbolizing their complete isolation and despair. As they approach Lucifer, Virgil warns Dante of the horrifying sight ahead. Lucifer is depicted as a colossal figure with 3 faces, each representing a different betrayal of cosmic import. His enormous wings create a fierce wind, freezing the lake of Cocytus, where these traitors have been trapped. In Lucifer's 3 mouths are Judas Iscariot, suffering for his betrayal of Christ, and Brutus and Cassius, notorious for betraying Julius Caesar. This imagery emphasizes the severity of their sins and the nature of betrayal throughout history. Unlike traditional portrayals of Satan, Dante shows him as trapped and immobilized, embodying the futility of evil. At the bottom of hell, evil is depicted as stagnant, devoid of glamour. The scene shifts dramatically as Virgil courageously climbs down Lucifer's body, leading Dante down further into darkness. They descend to the center of the earth, where suddenly gravity shifts and they begin their ascent. As they rise, the stars come into view, symbolizing hope and redemption, making a transition from despair to the true possibility of a brighter future. So, in conclusion, Cantos 29 and 30 of Dante's work illustrate fraud as a distortion of reality, manifesting through falsified bodies, deceitful identities, manipulated money, and corrupted speech. Canto 31 marks a critical turning point where the giants symbolize the dangers of overreaching power and poor communication, leading to the deepest circle of hell, where sin's severity escalates. In Cantos 32 to 34, Dante identifies treachery as the worst sin, depicting it as ice that signifies his frozen trust in the four regions of hell, culminating in betrayal against benefactors. At the center of this narrative is Lucifer, symbolizing the ultimate evil, not vibrant, not dismal, but paralyzed, reflecting the consequences of betrayal and disloyalty. The journey concludes with a significant transformation. After hitting rock bottom, the poem shifts towards hope, culminating in Dante and Virgil's ability to gaze upon the stars, suggesting a path to redemption, a life, an existence, even an eternity that is beyond despair. Thus ends Dante's Inferno. Well, everyone, that concludes our journey through the Inferno, up through Canto 34, and the conclusion of this portion, this cantico of the great circuit of Dante's Divine Comedy. I hope you do continue reading Purgatory and try Paradise. I will confess to you, the Inferno, for me, has always been historically one of the poem sections that I find the most accessible. Purgatory, I have read and I do get a lot from, but I'm looking forward to reading it again. And I struggled, believe it or not, with Paradise. Dante's language changes with each of these canticles, and so as a result, we shift in voice, we shift in intent, we shift in tenor and timbre. So I'm going to give it another shot. I hope you do too. If you are watching this and have enjoyed our journey in formation, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to check us out on our socials. And of course, know that we're always honored to welcome you home to St. Peter's, where we pray, we learn, and we grow together in our walk with Christ and are seeking a deeper opportunity to engage as both disciples being formed into the full image and stature of Christ, but also as apostles seeking to share that journey. Dear friends, take care and God bless. Have a great experience of Holy Week. We hope you will engage in that pilgrimage in place with us. If not, wherever you find your parish and church home, please make time to pray the days and to mark the journey of Jesus from the gates of Jerusalem through the great 3 days of his betrayal and Maundy Thursday, his death on Good Friday, and of course, his rising to new life in Christ, in his wonderful resurrection. Take care, dear friends, and God bless. Bye-bye.